165. He's got a tall, lanky frame. And I'm looking at his shorts with that purple trim that tells me he's a purple belt in jiu-jitsu. And under Trey Ogden, he's probably got a slick ground game with some really good triangle chokes. And I think if Justin Andrews comes in and tries to get this to the ground, he's going to be asking for trouble.
Keep him up, bang him hard.
Yeah, and I think Justin's going to swing for the fences. You know, he's a shorter, stockier, but he's very explosive, athletic type of person.
Think about Tyson and bullet fighting.
Yes, very.
Wouldn't that be if you're, Justin Andrews? Is that your approach?
Absolutely. Well, right there, he grabs that body lock. Austin Spangler was wrestling with an octopus before today. I love that dumb joke. It's a dumb dad joke. But right here, what Austin needs to do is turn into Justin Andrews. He needs to get that left arm. Basically, what I like doing here, so now he's kind of went the other way. Right here, you break that grip, you put your hips out, and then turn. Hips out and turn, walk out. But what he can do right here is, he's trying to turn. There he goes, got that overhook. You want to swim that arm over the head so you can get on the right side.
Well, Andrews is doing a great job of standing up right now, though, and not letting it get to the ground.
Yeah.
Well, you can clearly tell that Spangler's trying to put it on the ground.
Yeah, he was going for it, but Andrews did a really good job of defending it. Now he grabbed the head like a guillotine. I can't tell from here, but he needs to let go. Okay, let go of the choke. Now right here, what Austin needs to do is get back to his feet or try to switch that to a single leg like he's doing. But Justin Andrews doing a good job of keeping on his feet. Andrews is an athlete, man. You can't, that's not somebody that you just go in there and walk through. You have to use technical, I wouldn't say technical strikes, but your technicality on your moveset has to be on point when you're going against a tough athlete like that.
And so far, to me, but up until there,
that was that.
It definitely worked for Spangler.
Locks up that guillotine, sits back. That's tight. He's got it in there. Locks up that guard. Trying to fight that arm in there. Andrews, okay, the lock is broken.
From our vantage point, it was really difficult to tell how he was able to get out of that.
It looked tight from where we're at, but I think what the smart thing. Now there's that triangle choke. What I tell you, those long legs lock up those good chokes. Dirty ass feet though.
Good thing we're not going for flashpoints.
Yeah. So what he needs to do is he needs to see his left arm is under that right leg of Andrews. You get that under, and you pull yourself into it. It's going to help you. It's going to help you create an angle to get that choke better. What Austin needs to do is lock up that. He needs to lock it. There he goes.
And just a few more seconds left in round number one. Bit of an odd round. Who will give that one to?
I give that round to Justin Andrews. I think he.
Really?
Really. I mean, in my opinion, Andrews defended everything and kind of ended up in better positions. The only thing Spangler had was a good body lock takedown, and he had that guillotine attempt that really wasn't close at all after we saw it. So I would maybe give that to Andrews, but if they went to Spangler, I'm not going to argue that.
I guess I could see, because to me it seemed like I said, Andrews appeared to block a couple of those hip tosses. But Spangler was trying to get him to the ground. Now, eventually it worked, but not until the end of the round.
Yeah, and you saw he was threatening with a triangle, but he wasn't really able to get the position to lock it up.
I think one thing we forget to take into account is that defense means something too when scoring, or at least it should.
You know, I would say yes and no. I mean, because one judging criteria is cage control, and if you're the aggressor, you're controlling the cage.
You know what happens to a frog's car when it dies, don't you?
What?
It gets towed.
That's terrible. That's terrible.
That's a great dad joke.
It is.
Here we go, round number two.
As amateurs, you got to watch those knees to the head.
Yeah.
Now, being 6'3" on a guy who's 5'8", a little bit tricky. But he got his warning, didn't get a point taken away. He does it again, there'll be a point.
Yep, here we go. Back to the action here. And took it aggressive.
Oh!
Wrist,
And a little right hand on the chin. Going for that judo toss there. Gets it overhook with a nice little, overhook.
Well, the way that Spangler just used his legs and his frame right there.
Yeah, what I'd like to see Spangler do right here is calm down, establish a position. Okay, right there, he's established a position. Push off the head. Because Andrew's arms are not locked. Push off the head, create that space, and just drop down little shots right in the face. He can stay here, keep hitting those little body shots like he's doing, but essentially he's ended up getting stood up because nothing's really happening. And I don't agree with that because he's got him in a mount, but sometimes the refs will just stand you up because nothing's going on, and you just gave up that position.
To me, that's always a tricky call, right? I've seen some fights before where the crowd is booing, the official's letting it go, and then eventually you just kind of have to make an executive decision.
Yeah. Well, so a lot of times you see everybody booing whenever it's kind of somebody's pinned on the cage, most of the time, or if somebody's in another person's guard. Right here, he's fighting for an arm triangle. I just did this back home with my coach, Nick Sanders at Revive BJJ, and we learned a way to do this, and I've done it for years, but he showed me just a little slight modification. That choke gets tight and quick, but now that is gone, looking for the, I can't tell if he's trying to lock out that other arm.
The main thing is,
big shots out of Austin Spangler. Gives up his back.
Right now. Too late, I think, right there.
Yeah, it was.
Andrews. And we're just about to the end of round number 2, and so far, this fight has gone further than any of our previous fights of the night. Was that to be expected to you, though, Adam, in this type of situation for these two?
Yeah, because this fight, was a good matchup, and you see it on paper in your head, it's going to be a great fight, and it's actually living up to expectations, in my opinion. You're not seeing a lot of big shots landed. You're not seeing a lot of finishes being, getting close, nothing like that. But what you are seeing is you're seeing a very competitive match, and if you understand the sport, you understand that Austin Spangler does A, so Justin Andrews will do B. Spangler's got to switch to C, but Andrews is there with D, and it just goes back. It's like a chess match, right? Now, at this amateur level, they're still a little bit sloppy with some things. Like that, at the end of that round, Spangler went to take his back. It slipped right off because he didn't do it properly. You got to do it the right way.
Who's ahead in this fight right now?
I would probably give it to Spangler in the second round because he held mount for 3/4 of the round. So it depends on that first round. I kind of give it to Andrews, but Spangler could have easily got that. So I guess you could lean towards Spangler.
Well, here we go, round number 3. Again, this is the longest fight that we've had tonight. Good shot right there. Just stalking down his opponent. Spangler, no fear. And right now, there's a little bit of blood coming from Andrews.
Yeah, it looks like his lips bleeding a little bit. Ooh, big right hand just missed. He's going to look for those knees of the body.
And now he's pressing him hard up against the cage.
Gets that double unders right there. He's going for those double unders. Good knees to the body. Those double underhooks right there, Drew, will open up. It opens up knees to the body, but as he gets that takedown right there, right into mount. Again, this is just, there's not going to be a lot of big shots being landed. Fights for the arm triangle, things like that. But it's definitely dominating in the judges' eyes.
Well, we talked about it earlier, control. And basically what we've seen is just one guy with a game plan of, hey, I'm going to come in and I'm just going to lay on this guy and I'm going to double dog dare him to try and get me out of it.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. So in a fight, everybody's looking for a finish, right? You always want that finish. But if you in this fight, I don't see Spangler TKOing Andrews. I can see him get a submission, but it comes a point where you got to realize, okay, I've got to get this to the end of the round, to the end of the fight and win the decision. So then you get into like a point fight. And right here, he's taking that back. Right now he's got both hooks in, going for that body triangle. That's nice. I can't tell on the front if he's, there it is, there it is.
He's going to tap him out.
There it was.
And what a nice victory for Spangler. Folks, it's not impressive in terms of a knockout. And man, there were a lot of other things to like about that if you ask me, Adam.
Yeah, that was a great fight, you know. Like I said, I didn't see him get a TKO, but I saw him get a submission, sliding it in there. With those long limbs like that, when he took his back, he went in and got that body triangle. That body triangle is very, very uncomfortable if it's on you. It just so basically when you breathe in or you breathe out, your stomach goes in, they lock it in tighter so you're not able to get a full breath in like you want to.